This is the iPhone 10, this is the iPhone XR, and this is the iPhone XS Max. The iPhone 10 and XS would look pretty much exactly the same, except for the fact that the speaker grill is not symmetrical on the iPhone XS. With the iPhone XS Max, it is just bigger. When you compare the iPhone XR, however, there is a bigger difference in design. The back glass on the iPhone XR is more matte compared to the more glossy finish on the iPhone 10 and XS. It also has a single camera instead of a dual camera. The sides of the iPhone XR are also aluminum, while the sides of the iPhone 10 and XS are stainless steel. The XR is also slightly thicker than the iPhone 10 and XS. On the front, the iPhone XR has bigger bezels than the XS and XS Max, as well as a larger notch. The biggest difference between the iPhone XR and the other phones is the display. The iPhone XR has an LCD display compared to the OLED displays on the 10 and XS. Overall, I wouldn't say that the colors on the LCD are too much duller than the ones on the OLED displays. Although looking at plain white, there is quite a big difference between the OLEDs and the LCD. The 10 and XS Max actually tend to get brighter than the XR, having a maximum brightness of 650 lux compared to 420 lux on the iPhone XR. The iPhone XR also has a lower resolution than the XS and XS Max. It is 326 pixels per inch compared to 458 pixels per inch. However, for me, the biggest weakness and the reason why I couldn't use the iPhone XR as a daily driver is because it has no 3D touch. 3D touch is very useful, for example, if you want to edit text that you've already typed. And iPhone XR doesn't have it. It has haptic touch. You can long press on the space bar and move it around, but this is a lot slower. For example, if we compare the speed in the control panel, and there are a lot of things that 3D touch can do that haptic touch still can't, for example, giving previews of web pages. The iPhone 10, XR, and XS Max all have 12 megapixel cameras with f1.8 aperture. However, the XR and XS both have larger sensors, which allows for better low light. The 10 and XS both have secondary telephoto cameras, which allow for bokeh. The XR can achieve software bokeh, although the edge detection is slightly worse. The iPhone 10 has the Apple A11, while the XR and XS Max have the Apple A12. The XS has more RAM than the 10 and XR at 4GB as opposed to 3GB. The XR and XS are faster than the iPhone 10. As more apps are open, the iPhone XS gains a speed advantage over the iPhone XR due to its extra RAM. I cannot do a battery life comparison due to the fact that the iPhone 10 has a more worn down battery than the XR and XS Max, although the XR and XS Max have been lasting longer than the iPhone 10 due to the fact that they have a 7nm processor compared to the 10nm in the iPhone 10. Basically, they're more battery efficient. Overall, the iPhone XR should last slightly longer than the iPhone XS, although it won't be as big of a difference as there is between the 10 and the XS.